Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can organize your Marketo instance with the right folder structure. My name is Chiranjit Shah, a three-time Marketo certified expert. Let's get started. Very first thing when it comes to the best practices is that never mix your operational folder with the marketing activities folder. Have them created separately so that all of your marketing activity related stuff, like all of your active campaign that you're doing, webinar campaign, your email campaign, nurture campaign, content syndication, all of those campaign related stuff should be going under the marketing activities. And all of the under the hood program which are running behind the scene should be always created separately within the operational folder. For example, your lead scoring model, your lead scoring program should never be created within marketing activities. Have them create separately within the operation folder. Your lead routing program, data normalization, bounce management, all of the operational stuff that you're not doing day to day should be created separately and should be housed within the operational folder, right? The second thing that you can do is always create a separate folder for learning and testing. I'm sure you must have seen many people within your team or extended team will always create some kind of a learning or testing folder within your marketing activities, and that can get interfere with your day-to-day marketing campaigns, right? So as a best practice, people will be doing testing, they want to be learning, so create a separate space, separate folder where your team or extended team can go and do the testing and practice. Ideally, we should be doing this kind of a learning and testing in a sandbox. But in many situations, many organization may or may not have a sandbox purchased. So if you are the one, or even if you have a sandbox, but it is not practical that every for a small thing you need to go to the testing sandbox and do testing. If you want to do the testing in the live marketer instance, you should have a separate folder where you can do all of this testing and learning. And once you have done that, you should easily be able to parse it or delete it whenever you require it. The third thing, name the folder in such a manner so that they get arranged in chronological order automatically. For instance, 01 for universal folder, which could be your center of excellence folder, or many people will call it template, where this is where all of your campaign related templates are created and you clone them into a marketing activities folder. Similarly, you can write 02 marketing activity. You can say 03 operation, ZOP's operation. You can have a one folder for testing. And likewise, you can also have a one folder for all the learning. And one of the very important folder that you should have is the archive folder. This is where all your inactive program, which you no longer active, should be moved to the archive folder. Why it is important? Because if you're not archiving your old programs, uh, there will be a high chances that all of the sticker campaign will make your marketer instance slow. So it is one of the best practices that every 6 months or maybe max in a year, you review your program which are not active, which are not required, not active, make them archive and move them under the archive folder. One thing, please note that moving any active program to archive folder or making them archive, it not doesn't automatically deactivate any of your campaign, right? So when you're archiving any program into the archive folder, please go and check whether your trigger campaign are active or not, and then you may want to deactivate all of the trigger campaign that you must be running there. The fourth thing that you can have is always have an archive folder, as I said. Uh, all the assets or program that are no longer required should be moved to the archive folder, as I just explained. Here is an example of how you can organize your folder. This is how I was recommending that you can create a, you know, your universal template. Within this universal folder, you will have all of the template, center of excellence template. You have a marketing activity folder. Within a marketing activity folder, you can create again other program type folder. For example, your road shows, trade shows, webinar within your event. You can have a folder for creating a list import, newsletter, nurture, web. All of this can be created. The important thing is that follow the structure so that everything is sticking properly and you can easily find a program whenever you need to find one. Apart from using a folder structure into your main marketing activities, you should also follow the similar kind of a structure, folder structure for your design studio. Right? For example, if you have a forms, so forms you can also have them designed in a manner so that it is easy for you and your team to navigate and find where your forms are living, which type of forms are living where. Right? So this is in this example, if you see, we have your global forms. Within under global forms, we have written 01 global forms English. And within that, we have a forms for website. And under this folder, you have housed all of the forms which are living in your website. Right. Similarly, you can also have a one folder where you're keeping all of the campaign related forms. Right. If you are doing a lot of regional forms, those should also be living in a different folder. When it comes to forms, we should always try to limit our forms, how many forms you're creating. And this is where you should be using a global Marketo form so that those can be reused again and again, and you do not have to create the form every single time. Similarly, you can also use some folder structure uh, to organize your landing pages. If you see here, what we are saying here is landing pages. Within landing pages, we have created 01 or A1 for template, A2 for the global landing pages, and we have also a folder for archiving. So whenever any landing page template which is not been used, we can move them to the archive so that my team or your colleagues and team, whenever they are working within your Marketo instance, they know which templates are to be used, which templates are not active anymore. Uh, Likewise, you should also follow some structure within your lead database. Uh, you can create this kind of folder structure within your group smart list. Here is an example. So if you're creating your exclusion list, all of those exclusion lists should be living within the exclusion folder. Likewise, you also have an operation folder. Within operation folder, any operational stuff that you're doing, any kind of a list, smart list that you're using for your day-to-day activity should also be going there. If you're using a target list, those are like predefined target audience list that you're regularly using. All of those should be living within the target list. Any list that you do not require, any smart list that you're not needed, can always be archived so that you have always very all well organized Marketo instance, your database. So it's very easy for you to navigate and utilize your Marketo stuff. So I recommend you to create this folder structure for your group smart list or a smart list. Also, you can create a similar thing for your static list, right? Here is an example. This is now the example of how you should be structuring your folder within your program, right? So this is an example where you see that this is a webinar template. Within a webinar template, you must create a separate folder for campaigns, local assets, and I will also recommend you to create a report also, so that all of the local assets are living within local folder. So within local folder, you can local asset folder, you can also create all the different kind of local asset folder, for example emails. So within this email folder, all of your emails will be living here. All of the landing pages will be living here. You can also create a report folder. All the report related to your campaign should be living under the report folder. All of your smart campaign, batch campaign, ticker campaign should be living within your campaign folder. So that's how you will be able to organize and keep your Marketo instance very clean. This is another example that you see here again from a webinar. So here you see all of your campaign, the campaign which is responsible for sending invitation, marking them registered, attended on demand, are living within your campaign folder. Structure look like. How is your Marketo instance folder structure look like? Share your thoughts on the comment, and I see you in the next video on the smart campaign. Take care.